formally present the Master of Cinema Award to Peter Bogdanovich.
It's quite heavy. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. It's kind of scary to see yourself younger on the screen. I said, who the hell is that? Anyway, thank you for that. It's beautiful, beautiful crystal ball. And I see many films in the future.
Yes, we certainly hope so.
This chair is falling apart.
It's all right? It was really incredible to watch this film in this kind of a theater, on a big screen, in a beautiful print. And I thought the audience reaction was just as it should be. And I'm curious if you have an opinion on why this film has endured and why it plays as well as when it was first released.
We did some things right. The universality of it that you mentioned is because it's about a father and a daughter. He denies it through the whole picture, but it's the casting alone tells you that it's real. And history has proven that Ryan has not been a very good father, and poor Tatum has suffered. So it has a reverberation today beyond what it had then. She loves him. He's not good for her, but she loves him. So to me, the ending has always been bittersweet, because it'd be better for her to stay with Aunt Billy. But, love gets in the way.
And there's a big road stretching into a future for them.
Yeah, how about that road?
Great road.
Yeah, that's we came up with the ending because of the road. No, I'm serious. We had no ending. We couldn't figure out how to end the picture. And we had 3 or 4 endings we tried. We didn't shoot them, but we wrote them. And none of them quite worked. And when my first wife and I, Polly Platt, who did the production design on the picture, drove across country to move to California in 1964, we drove across the country, and we had a car that had a cracked block. So we had to put it in neutral and go down, go in neutral down every hill to cool off the radiator. Well, when we got to Kansas, we found there were no hills. So when we thought we'd make this picture, we remembered that, and we thought that'd be a good area to shoot Paper Moon in, because the book was originally set in the South, in the Deep South. We thought there'd been a lot of that with Tennessee Williams and Faulkner, and Truman Capote thought it would be better to do it sort of more Midwest. And Polly and Frank Marshall, who was the associate producer, they went looking for locations, and a miracle, they came back and they said, look, we found a hill in Kansas. Is that road? She said, I don't know what it's good for, because there wasn't any scene for it, but if you if you ever need a hill in Kansas, here's one. So we were getting ready to leave Kansas and go to St. Joe, Missouri, and we didn't have an ending. And I remembered that road, and I remembered something else that Leo McCarey, great director, we had discussed once, which was that you have to pay things off. If you set something up in the first act, you have to pay it off. And in comedy, things come in threes. We had 3 acts, and it suddenly struck me that we hadn't paid off the $200, which we introduced all through Act 1. So I suddenly thought, wait a minute, and I came up with this ending, and I thought, well, wait a second, what happens if she can't stand it there? So she runs out, he stopped because the truck is giving him trouble. He finds the photograph, which she left there, and she comes running up to him. He says, I thought I told you I don't want you riding with me anymore. You still owe me $200. And then the truck, which we've established has bad brakes, starts rolling down that last hill in Kansas. And that was the ending.
They have to get into the car. There's no other choice.
There's no other choice, no.
So, a brilliant solution. to that kind of problem. And by the way, the Frank Marshall Peter mentions was the associate producer on this, is the Frank Marshall who produced Indiana Jones movies and Kennedy
owns
Marshall.
half of Hollywood now.
Yes, exactly, one of the biggest producers in the business. Let's talk about the cast for a minute. I can't remember another movie where their father and a daughter played a father and a daughter. We saw the Barrymores acted a lot as brother and sister. And I don't think the Fairbankses were ever in a film together as father-sons. So this was very unusual casting, and of course, they're not the only two roles. Madeline Kahn is the light in this film. John Hillerman playing a double role, playing both twins.
Wasn't Madeline wonderful?
Yes. Her walk toward the camera is all you need to know.
We had a special bra made. We read the script, table reading of the script, and we got to the line when she says, "So what do you say, honey? Just for a little while, let old Trixie sit up front with her big." She said, "I'm not going to say that." I said, "You don't want to say that?" "No, I'm not going to say that." "Well, what do you want to say?" "I don't know, breasts, big ones, something." "I'm not going to say that." Okay. So she never said it until the day we were shooting. We did two shots of her. One where she says, "You're going to put your ass in the seat," and she turns to walk away. We did all that, and then we cut closer, and we put the camera set up for that, and I walked over to her just before we were going to shoot that, and I whispered in her ear, "Say tits once, just say." And I walked away. And when she gets to it, if you look at it again, or maybe you noticed, she kind of gets herself ready for it, and then she says it. And then she does the most wonderful kind of embarrassed smile, which is because Madeline was embarrassed. She'd never said it before. It was heaven.
I know Orson Welles was a great influence on your whole career, but a great influence on your decision in this film to both shoot in black and white and to use deep focus in every shot.
No, that was on Picture Show that he influenced us to use black and white. He said it's an actor's picture. He hated the script of the last Picture Show, Orson did. It's a dirty movie, he said. But it's an actor's movie and you should shoot it in black and white. I said, I don't know if they'll let me. Have you asked? No, why don't you ask? But the great story about Orson on this picture is, I don't know if I told you this, I was looking, whenever I do a period picture, and this was set in 1935 or 36, whenever I do a period picture, one of the first things I do is I look through the list of songs that were popular that year or previous years leading up to it. I look at the list. Variety used to publish a list of songs that were popular. And I was looking through the list, and I came to a song called "It's Only a Paper Moon," written by Yip Harburg and Harold Arlen. And those two words, "paper moon," jumped out at me because I didn't like the title of the book. It was Addie Prey. I thought it sounded like a snake. And so I called Paramount and I said, "What do you think if we call the picture Paper Moon?" And Frank Yablans said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Well, it's a good title, don't you think? There's a song that goes with it. It's kind of relevant." "Peter, let's not have our first argument." Addie Prey was a best-selling book. I said, "How many copies did it sell in hardcover?" 100,000. I said, "Well, if we get 100,000 people to see the movie, we're going to have a big hit." All right. Let's not get into an argument about it. So I thought it's a good title, Paper Moon. So I called Orson. He was in Rome cutting a picture, and the reception was very bad. I had to yell, "Orson, can you hear me? You got a minute?" "No, I'm cutting. What is it?" "Just tell me what you think of this title. Paper Moon." "That title is so good, you don't even need to make the picture. Just release the title."